My name's John Wilheim. I'm a senior software specialist at Brainworks, and I work out of the Wichita office. I work extensively with the classified pagination, web order entry. The Brainworks classified product goes back through a company called Freedom System Integrators, which goes back in turn through one called Microtech that started in 1976. It's designed to make as much money as you can in as little time as possible. So we have all sorts of different methods of upselling, so that if somebody says, well, I want to run this in one paper for 3 days, you can hit a single button. It'll say, well, if you ran it for 7 days, if you ran it for 10, if you ran it for 14, or if you ran it in this paper but also ran it in these papers, here's the advantages to doing it. It also has other ones for actually changing the content of the ad quickly. So somebody says, well, I just want to run 3 lines of text. We can hit one button, and then based on what the class is, the publications you chose, all sorts of other factors, it can automatically show different versions, maybe one with a border, one with stars and a border, and you can tailor that for different things. So for yard sales, you see one set of upsells that are appropriate, but for autos, you see something else. When the economy was pretty flat a few years ago, we had one customer whose lineage was down, but their revenue was up sharply, because instead of just being straight text ads, they were selling more with stars and borders and flags in them and all sorts of other little things that were, each one was adding revenue. And in addition to just describing it to customers, say I hit the button and it makes stars and a border and all, and we can tell them the price on each one, but maybe they say, well, I like the one that's a border, that's good. And you can say, that's good. Could I send you a proof of that? And by email or fax, right from sitting at the operator's desk, they don't have to get up and go anywhere. They can send them not only the one they picked, but they can also show them all the other ones that would cost more. So they can say, oh, now that I see the one with stars and a border and a logo, that's the one I really like because that one catches my eye. First of all, we start out by training the trainers. We have the customer identify 1, 2, 3 people who will become their super trainers, and we teach them everything. Now, to get the operators up and running, and we don't really call them operators, we think of them as ad sellers, because that's what they're doing. They're selling ads. We have a basic quick start thing to teach them how to launch the program, how to log in, how to look up an existing customer, how to make a new customer if necessary, how to make an ad, hit the upsell buttons, pay for it, and done. Then we can teach them all the additional things. One of the features of the program is it has QuickTime movies with audio that show the basic functions. And then in addition, there's on-screen help where you can click on something or hover the mouse over it and hit home and things come up. You can even build in site-specific help, even user-specific help. There's also manuals that are PDF, searchable, printable. Every time we do an upgrade, the upgraded manuals are automatically put on the customer's file server along with the new pieces of software. You have some customers who want to be what we call a standby customer. They say, I'll sign a contract at a good rate to run an ad every day for a year. And we can have a generic ad ready to go if they don't give you a new one on any specific day. Another thing, with an existing customer, you can call them up, you can see ads they ran before, you can duplicate them and change them. Another thing that we can do is when ads are about to expire, you want to call the customer back and say, would you like to extend it? Well, we can do the usual thing where you call them on the phone if you want to, but we also can do a thing entirely inside the program where you say, find me all the ads that are going to expire for this customer or all customers for a given date and publication. When the list comes up, you can hit one button and then you can email or fax out the reminder that it's going to expire, showing them the exact ad. You can even merge them all together. So you've got that small car dealer who's got 6 or 8 ads that are all expiring. You don't have to send him 6 or 8 emails. You can concatenate them, send them all, and he can see each ad and see what it really looks like, when it expires, what class it's in, and everything else. You can use the data mining for classified as well as for display and ROP. We also have specific reports that are designed for classified, and they're rather exciting because you don't have to run them. You tell each one when to start, when to stop, and how often to run. So you want to see the ads taken today by ad seller. You can tell it update every 10 minutes starting at 3 after the hour from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You have other ones you might want every hour, might have some you want only once a day. They just run in the background. They'll look and see what's going well or where they're lagging, and then they'll do specials. And our rating engine is so flexible that you could very quickly say, okay, we're not reaching a goal for a certain type of ad, let's go do a special. Put it in there, boom, everyone has it. Our rating engine is a graphical interface. It's not tables, it's not a text file that makes your eyes hurt to look like, and it's a decision tree, so you can start out with anything. A lot of people still like to start with publications, say, well, if it's this publication, and it's this class, and it's a commercial customer, and it includes a Sunday, and the ad is da-da-da-da-da, price it this way. Otherwise, price it some other way. So you can have all done behind the scenes. And in fact, one of the things we strongly encourage people to use, and most of them do, is a thing we made called best rates. The ad seller doesn't have to pick the rate. The ad seller doesn't have to think, this is a commercial customer, it's a real estate, so I have to pick rate 22 commercial real estate. The program does it for them. It can analyze more than 900 attributes of the ad, the customer, the schedule, the content of the ad, and pick the rate for them and show them the rate it picked. It's all one database, so if somebody's credit is changed by accounting, immediately it's there the next time you pull up that customer in Classified. You can actually have messages pop up about customers, and you can have it so the ones whose credits is no longer good, credit status is no longer good, would pop up automatically, and it could say, send them to accounting, send them to whatever. It's good, one, because you know right away, but two, the ad seller's not going to waste time now making an ad for somebody who's a problem. They can pay off the individual ad they have all the way up to all the ads that have an outstanding balance on it. And they can do it multiple ways, including credit card authorization, either over the web or over a modem, while you have the customer on the line. So you don't have to wait and do it in a batch at the end of the day or the next day. You don't have to go over to some machine after they're off the phone. So you know instantly if that card's been declined, and you could say, well, I'm sorry, your card has been declined. Would you like to try another one? Would you like an alternate payment method? The product is always growing and improving. We get the best ideas from our customers. And one of the wonderful things in Classified and pagination is there is only one version of the program. So if a customer asks for something and we make it, they get that, but they also get all the good things we put in for other customers. We update people on a regular basis. A wonderful feature of it is once they have done the original install at their site, whether they're running on client server or running on thin client with Citrix or remote desktop or what have you, when there's an upgrade, they don't have to go from machine to machine or copy things from one user to another so everybody gets the new version. What happens is when there's a new version, there's a little file out there, and every time they launch the program, it looks to see, is there one of these files? If it finds one, it looks to see, do I already have this one for me? If it does, fine, they've already got the latest and it launches the program. But otherwise, it copies in the new components and then launches the program. So as soon as you say, we're upgrading, everybody gets it the next time they come in. Well, these modern newspapers live and die on software. And if the things that you're doing now were virtually impossible without the software, you are able now in our Classified, for example, you can have a single ad with a single ad number running any length of time, any number of publications, but it can be a combination of classified liners, classified display ads, ROP display ads. The content can change from day to day in and among any of those, but it's all one ad with one number on the bill. The customers are the most important thing in Brainworks' existence. We have a partnership with our customers. We get ideas from them, we talk with them, we collaborate with them. Virtually everyone who works in our company came out of newspapers. I've never heard anybody at Brainworks say, well, why would they want to do that? They want to do that, so how do we make it happen? We talk to customers all the time. Often they're calling about one particular small thing or another, but we always try to get into a larger conversation about things in general. And we also keep track of the requests from customers. I do a lot of the demos, and I keep a list of everything anybody has ever asked for. And anything that 2 or more people at non-related sites ask for goes onto a greatest hits list. And periodically we go through that and say, we've had 3 or 4 people ask, could we do this? Let's do it. We've had so many features before anyone else has. Many of them become standard in the industry, but they started with us. Brainworks will always be an innovator, as long as there's a Brainworks, which will be for a long time.